What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to do something that I have not done before. I'm going to take a 6-star champion to rank 2. My first ever 6-star champion to rank 2. I know I'm a little bit behind. Some people have many rank 2 6-star champions at this point. Some people never even bothered to rank up their 5 stars to rank 5. They just went right into the 6 stars. And there's even people out there that have entire profiles full of rank 3 6 stars. So how is it that I don't even have a single rank 2 6 star at this point? Is it because of the whole free-to-play thing? No, not really. I mean, there's a tiny bit of that influencing it, sure, but not really. You know what? We're going to talk about exactly why in a little bit here. First, I'm going to actually rank 2 Torch. This is my first rank 2. I'm going to level him up, and then I'm going to go stream and collect some footage in Act 4 of using Torch. And then we're going to talk about why it took so long to actually rank this dude up. This is probably going to take just about the rest of my gold. Let's see how much I have left at the end of it. You kidding me? I'm actually out of Science ISO. I thought I had so much Science ISO. Wouldn't be a level up video without a few crystals being popped open, I suppose. Only have 2 4 stars since I just opened so many 4 stars recently. Let's hope for Science. Just end this nice and quick. Oh, neither of them are Science. First time awakening though, so that's nice. Let's just load in 50 PHCs. Ooh, 1 new champion. Is that a 3-star or 4-star? Just a 3-star. Oof, not a single 4-star out of these 50 PHCs. Well, last time I was opening them I got pretty lucky, so guess it all balances out. Let's load in another 50. Man, am I really about to go another 50 without getting a single 4-star champion? Last 10. What do we got here, man? Wow, no 4 stars out of 100 PHCs. Okay, alright. 50 more. Hey, finally a single 4-star champion, 140 crystals in. Tower the Duck, it's not Science ISO, but, you know, I do have some Science bricks from all the 2s and 3 stars. Maybe it'll be enough. Let me just pop open this last 10 after declining all these crazy offers. Last 10, hoping for that Science 4-star dupe. And no, okay. Well, it might be enough anyway. Let's go try to finish this up. So close. Got him to level 34. Alright, I'll finish that up with some basic ISO. You know, this rank up wasn't as expensive as I was thinking, I guess because there's only 1 rank versus taking like a 5-star champion all the way from rank 1 to rank 5 or something, but still quite a hit to the gold. But alright, there we go, man. Torch, now rank 2. First ever rank 2. Looking good, man. Looking good. Alright. I'm mostly going to be trying to push this guy to his L2. The only other thing I got to remember really is to use alternating specials. And here's where things went wrong. See, future me knows that this guy is going to be unstoppable at the start of the fight due to his Raptor upgrades. And in the moment, I forgot. I did this fight once. It didn't go that badly, but I did make some mistakes.
Did you forget that he was unblockable?
Yep.
Oh no.
Alright, let's do this fight for real now. This is the Darkhawk boss in Act 6, Chapter 4, Quest number 3. And out of all of the bosses in this chapter so far that I've faced, at least, this one is the most troublesome by far. So he starts out in this null mode because he has the Raptor upgrades node. Null mode is what Darkhawk normally has when he activates his special 3, giving him a pretty large attack increase. And with this node, whenever he's in that null mode, you can see that orange icon on his buff bar there. All of his attacks are unblockable. Actually, not all of them, just his regular attacks. His special attacks are not, but you basically have to wait this out. It has a 30-second duration, and you can see me attacking into his block just to try not to get backed up against the wall, because, you know, if you're backed up against the wall, it's kind of a death sentence at times. So really trying to keep my distance. You could also use a special or a heavy attack to put him in his shielding mode, which will take him out of that null mode, but it's not that easy to do unless you have some sort of natural power gain champion like Hyperion. But anyway, we waited out the null mode, and now I actually didn't really want to do a heavy attack there. That was a bit of a mistake. I was thinking, all right, now it's time to gain some heat charges, and this way I won't miss Darkhawk, because I'm pushing Darkhawk to a special 2, because the special 2 is significantly easier to evade. You're going to see in a minute here just how much damage I actually take when blocking the special 1. So watch this. I have 78% health. He's going to throw 2 special 1s back to back, and look at my health, man. It's going down pretty good there. So yeah, you don't really want to bait out the L1s if you can. But that's the whole reason why Torch is so good for this fight, is because once he has 10 heat charges, he can't miss the opponent. So the L2, his Darkhawk stealth mode, it's not something that I'm concerned about. So I am trying to keep him locked into throwing special 2s with a combination of me doing heavy attacks to stay above 10 heat charges. That's kind of the name of the game. You're going to see me make a pretty big mistake here in just a minute. I'm going to parry, charge up a heavy, and I was a little too slow in releasing, and I panic and I throw the special 2, and you can see my face. I'm looking crazy. And then I had to throw a heavy attack because there's a hurt locker node, which says if you use the same special twice in a row, you better do a heavy attack, otherwise you're going to take a bunch of damage. So I got extremely lucky that my heavy attack actually landed, and yeah, that kind of saved the fight. So from here, I have the fight back under control. It was really just a mistiming on releasing the heavy. Got greedy, just holding on to the heavy too much. Gaining those heat charges was unnecessary, but now we're gonna kind of finish things up. So when Darkhawk switches between his phases, or his modes, I should say, between the stealth mode and shielding mode, when I knock him down, he gains a little bit of health, or he tries to at least. But because because Torch has these Nova flames that I'm putting on him, each one of those reduces healing by 20%. It can actually even reverse healing. I don't really get any instances where I'm reversing healing by a ton, but yeah, I do get a bit of healing reversal there. So yeah, that's the Darkhawk fight. That's the reason why I ranked up Torch. It's not the only reason, you know. I've used Torch a little bit before that fight even. He's been helping me out a little bit in Act 6, Chapter 4. Honestly, I should have ranked him up before I started messing around with that Darkhawk fight, just because I could have saved some resources. So it was kind of stupid to wait as long as I did. But I was trying to manage my other resources, as I called out in my other rank up videos. Trying to make sure that I didn't put too many class catalysts in the overflow. So you know, had to do a bunch of other rank ups to make sure that this stuff was well managed. So that's kind of the reason behind the delay. But finally got Torch ranked up, and yeah, let's talk a little bit about why it took so long to rank to a 6-star. There's actually a few reasons why it took so long, and I'll go over them as quickly as possible. The first thing I want to do, though, is pop on over to Aunt May, and I want to make a comparison between 5 stars at rank 5 and 6 stars at rank 2, because that's how the community kind of compares these two, because they're nearly identical. They're pretty equivalent in terms of overall power. If you look at the crit rate and crit damage rating and stuff like that, it'll be the same between the two. There's actually a little bit more armor on the 5-star version, possibly tied into the rank, so that once you get a 6-star champion up to rank 5, it'll probably have the same amount of armor. Although I'm not 100% sure on that, I'm just kind of making that assumption. The real difference comes in health and attack, and it's not a huge difference. You can see is almost 30,000 health on the 5-star rank 5 to a little over 32,000 health. Attack on the 5-star rank 5 is 2335 versus 2536. So there is a little bit of a difference there. It's not quite a 10% increase. But that's kind of how I like to call it, just so that it's easier to remember. So that I know there is a little bit of a difference, but yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. If you're doing a Legends run or something like that, and every little point of attack matters, especially when it's your base attack and you're boosting that base attack, then yeah, it does make a pretty significant difference. But for the average gameplay, no, it really doesn't matter a ton. There are a couple of hidden differences between the 5 and 6-star versions of champions, though. One big benefit to the 6 stars, of course, they have the adrenaline healing, and one small benefit that the 5-star has is that they actually gain more power. It turns out the amount of power that you gain when attacking opponents, it's based on your rank. So a rank 5 5-star champion would gain the same amount of power as a rank 5 6-star champion, but because we can't quite get there yet, you actually gain just a little bit less power because the 6-star champion is at rank 2 compared to rank 5. It's pretty small, and you really don't notice it. The only reason I even know about it is because someone called it out on the forums many months ago, and kabam, you know, they had an official reply that broke down exactly how that works and how it's based off of rank. So, but for the most part, there's a reason why the community compares 5-star rank 5s to 6-star rank 2. They're pretty equivalent outside of those minor differences. So why have I favored the 5 stars going to rank 5 so much more over the 6 stars going to rank 2? Well, there's a few big differences. The first is the cost. Tier 5 basics for many people are the bottleneck resource when ranking up these champions. For some people, it's Tier 2 Alpha, and I feel like we went through a bit of a Tier 2 Alpha drought where it just seemed like the game was giving more Tier 5 basic than we could get Tier 2 Alpha to keep up with, at least at the high end, and might be true, you know, depending on where you're at in the game and everything. So, you know, for some people, where if they did have more Tier 5 basic, then I could see leaning more into 6 stars. But, you know, it's Tier 5 basic has always been the shortage resource for me. So yeah, I favored rank 5 stars because of that. And then the other big reason is that it's just so much easier to awaken 5-star champions and take their sig levels up, that even though you're gaining a tiny bit more attack and health as a 6-star rank 2 compared to a 5-star rank 5, you usually more than make up for that with the sig level. Sig level matters a lot more than some minuscule, you know, 10% attack does, especially for champions like Aegon or like Omega Red, that deals a lot of his damage through his spores that comes directly from his Awaken ability. It's not as important for all champions. Emma Frost is a good example of a champion that doesn't really need to be awakened. And of course, Human Torch. This champion also doesn't really need to be awakened, not for the average quest at least. It'd be great if I can awaken this dude for the Abyss, but yeah, I'm not really holding my breath on that one. I might even have to somehow get my hands on a 5-star version, awaken the 5-star. That way I can use them in the Abyss and have that ability, have the pre-fight flame on ability recharge itself. But yeah, that's really the biggest reason, is it's so hard to get 6-star champions awakened, and it's even more difficult to get them to a decent sig level. Now, here's where I said in the beginning, you know, is it a free-to-play thing that I haven't ranked 2'd 6-star champions up until now? And I said no, because, you know, for the most part, I like the cheaper cost of the 5 stars, and even if I had more 6 stars and everything like that, I probably would still strongly favor 5 stars, just so I could have more champions to play with, champions that are more like ideal and built to handle certain nodes, rather than kind of trying to stretch with a smaller selection of champions to work with. But yeah, the free-to-play thing, it does have an impact. Of course, not opening up as many crystals, not having as many 6 stars to choose from, not having an easier time taking their sig levels up, as almost all of the 5-star sig stones that have been offered have been for money. I think we had that one offer for Cyber Monday. That was a unit offer that you could get 50 sig stones from there, and then of course the sig stones from the Abyss. But there's really not. It's a very limited way to get sig stones, and you know, also extremely limited to get awakening gems. So yeah, for now it's just been better for me to invest into 5 stars, and I think for a lot of players that's probably the way to go. But of course it's gonna be different for everybody. So here comes the advice portion of the video. You have to look at everything. You can't just look at what I'm doing or someone else is doing and you know, make your decisions based off of them. Everyone's situation is different. And you might have some really powerful 6-star champion that will be a huge help in getting through some content. Maybe you were lucky enough to get Sentinel and actually awaken him, even if you don't have that many 6 stars. And you know, you could use that guy to crush half of the variants in this game. Probably more than half the variants. All of variant 2 and 3 basically. Outside of maybe some specialty fights. And then, you know, the second chapter of Variant 1, parts of Variant 4, like, that could be a huge, huge rank up, and it would be great to invest in a champion like that. But for the most part, I do still recommend, for the average player out there that isn't in some top-tier alliance, pulling in tons of resources and clearing access and stuff like that, for the average player, I recommend not ignoring your 5 stars. I feel like that happens pretty frequently where people, you know, they see that extra star, they see that blue border, and they think, oh, I'm going to invest in the future. Let the future be the future. And rank up what's going to help you the most right now. Whether it's a 5 or 6-star champion, that's for you to determine. But do not ignore the 5-star champions. Alright. That is going to do it for this video, though. Happy to have my first, you know, 6-star rank 2. There'll be other rank 2s in the future. If I ever get Aegon Awakened or Omega Red. Possibly Emma Frost. She has a synergy with Mysterio that could be helpful against the Grandmaster. Kind of contemplating that one. But for now, Torch is it. Alright, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.